Hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? Bella, we're not going to start that today. No, we're not going to start that today. How is everybody doing today? Waiting for some people to come in. She need to go out? Oh. Hello, 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 everyone. Oh, take my blanket off. Oh, my hair. So, I am sorry I was not on yesterday, you guys. I was literally recovering from a virus that I had on last week because I was not feeling well. I had to go to the ER. Still got this big purple bruise on my arm, but from them trying to put an IV in my arm. But yeah, I wasn't feeling well last week, so I couldn't really do anything that I wanted to do this past weekend because I just was not feeling my best. I'm just starting, move this out the way. I'm just starting to feel better. I went back to work today. Today was my first day back to work, so went back to work today. Have not done any videos. I'm gonna be doing more videos, but yeah, so haven't really been doing much. Just trying to recover, and that's about it. So how was everybody's holiday? I didn't do anything yesterday. Um I stayed in. I didn't even go out the house yesterday. I stayed in the whole entire day. Um and did nothing because I just wanted to recover. But God is still good. He's still in the business of healing. And that's all I can say is just thank you, God, for his healing, because I'm telling you, last week, it was pretty rough last week. And I just thank him for today. I thank him for his healing power. And I just thank him for everything that he's doing in my life. Um, on the other note, now you all know that I've been talking about my job and, about how they was trying to keep me to work from home, keep me from working from home. They told me that I would have to wait until November for a whole year for my attendance to drop off, the points drop off, right? So out of the blue, and y'all know that I really have a strong faith in God. And that's why I'm always saying, continue to have faith, continue to seek God, and continue to trust, and do not let your faith waver. Because let me tell you, so remember I said, they told me that they would not consider me to work from home until November. I go to work today. When before I go on my lunch break, my lunch is at my lunch break is at 1:30. So I go on my lunch. Before I go on my lunch break, my supervisor, no, my manager sends me a message, and she says, we have a meeting today at 2:30. Now, let me remind you, when I went in this morning, I always look at our calendar and everything. We have to look, at that every day every day we, clock in. So I look at my calendar. There was nothing on the calendar, no meeting or anything. So before I go on my lunch break, she says we have a meeting at 2:30. And so they know how I am, because I literally speak up for myself, right? So I was about to say, I know, listen, I was just about to say, I know that I didn't do anything wrong. So what is the meeting about? Because they know how I am. And so she was like, just before you say anything, it's nothing bad. This is exactly what she sent in the message. I was about to message her, but this is what she sent in the message. Thank you so much. And so The meeting come up 2:30. She said, well, I know that I told you that we were going to wait until November to consider sending you home. She said, but we're going to send you home next week. And I'm like, now I have been praying and I've been asking God, right? Just been praying and asking God for favor. And so she said, we're going to send you home next week. So I said, okay. She said, would that be okay with you? I said, of course. So she said, I know you've been waiting for this for a while. And she's and so well, that looks nice. Let me see that. I want to show them. And so, oh yeah, I want to show you guys this right quick. So my daughter just made a hydration mist. And it consists of, and this is supposed to, so this is going to grow your hair. So this is a hydration mist. It's mixed with coconut oil, aloe vera juice, vegetable glycerin, water, and no water. Oh, no water. I'm sorry. So coconut oil, vegetable glycerin, aloe vera juice, and leave-in conditioner. And this right here is going to, this is supposed to grow your hair. So I'm giving you guys a tip on if you're looking to grow your hair. So I'm going to start using it tomorrow and look at the progress. Now my hair is definitely growing. It is, even though it's shrink, it's kind of shrunk, but my hair is growing. My hair was completely shaved off. My hair fell out so bad where I completely shaved it off. So it's really growing back. But yeah, so I was so excited to hear that. So she said, you're going to have your equipment at the end of next week. And on Friday, on the 12th, I'll be able to get my equipment and then I'll be able to work from home. And I said, thank you, God. God has definitely been showing out and just showing out in my life and just showing me so much favor. And so that's why I constantly preach and talk about how important it is to continue to have a relationship with him, not to just say that you know him. And it's a difference between having a relationship with him and saying that you believe in God. They're totally two different things, because when you have a relationship with him, you're doing what the word is telling you to do. You're staying in prayer. You're staying in your word. Oh, you put it in your hair. Oh, it smells good. You're staying in your word. So you're doing all those things. It feels really good. You're doing all those things to stay connected with him. But yes, so I am just so happy. I had to come on and just, because I was supposed to come on yesterday. Yesterday was my day, but I still wasn't feeling 100%. And yeah, I was not feeling 100%. So I said I was going to come on today and just talk about how good God has been. And how grateful I am. How grateful I am for everything that I've been praying about. He's definitely been showing up in my life, and it's all about patience too. One thing we have to do, we have to learn patience. And as we learn patience, we're definitely going to see things manifest in our lives, because we all know that things are going to happen when God says it's going to happen. It's never going to be on our time. It's always on his time. No matter what, it's always on God's time. It's never on our time. So We have to keep that in mind. But yes, I'm just all smiles because I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I just kept saying thank you, God, for just, listening to me and answering my prayers. And sometimes we don't even think that God is listening to us because the things that we pray for, it just seem like it's not happening. But we just always have to know that it's always on his timing, and that it's definitely going to happen when he says it's going to happen. We don't know, the day, place, time, or hour when it's going to happen, but we know that as long as we have faith, that he's definitely going to open the door for us. Thank you. He's definitely going to open the door for us. Um, so yeah, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. That's all I can just keep saying is just thank you, God. And it's just, it's more things that I have prayed and asked God for, and I'm um just being patient and waiting for it to manifest and waiting for it to happen in my life. And one book that I have been reading, this book right here, The Beta Satan, this is a good book. I am only in chapter 2, and this book is so good. So if nobody has gotten this book, I would definitely say get this book. Um, how many of you? It's not a lot of people on here that's viewing me right now, but has anybody heard of this book, The Beta Satan? And it says living free from the deadly trap of offense. But this book is, man, this it's so good, and it opens your eye to so many things on how you don't realize the trap that Satan has made for us, right? And I do say a lot of times that we give Satan too much credit, because some things we definitely give Satan too much credit about. But I'm going to read a description in the back. It says, the beta Satan exposes one of the most deceptive snares Satan uses to get believers out of the will of God, which is offense. This trap restrains countless Christians, um, servers, relationships, and widens the gulfs between us. Jesus said it is impossible that no offenses should come. That's Luke chapter 17, verse 1. Although you will encounter offense, you can choose how you will react. And that is so true. Like God gives us a choice. He's given us a choice since the beginning of time. He has given us a choice between death and life, right? Life and death. He's given us those choices. So and that's what this book it I'm like I said, I'm only on chapter 2, and this book is so good. But it is so true how we choose how we're going to react to um what people do or say against us, right? So we choose like right now, there are trolls that's on my live right now, and I can choose how I'm going to react. I can react negatively, or I can react positively. And I choose to react positively because they have nothing else better to do but to come on people pages and um and just say things. So I choose to ignore it rather than respond to it. I ignore all their messages. Um but yeah, God is definitely amazing. So yeah, I would definitely suggest to get this book, because it's definitely going to change your life and how you see things. and it's definitely changing my life. So, so yeah, but that's what I wanted to come, because I was supposed to come on Sat. I was supposed to, you know, do some things on Saturday. I didn't do much. I did go to our church picnic for a minute, but only stayed for literally a minute because I started not feeling well again. But yeah, it was some things that I wanted to do. So I'm praying that it's still gonna happen, and but I choose not to really talk about things until it manifests, rather than speak about it and then it doesn't happen. So yes, but right now I am just, listen, I'm just relaxing. Today was my first day back to work since Thursday. I was at the ER all day Thursday, and then I had the weekend to recover. So definitely, I'm so grateful. And I was supposed to go to the conference. They had, the HIV/AIDS conference that is being held in Washington D.C. This week, but I am definitely gonna be ready for it next year, God's willing. I'm definitely gonna be ready for it next year, and um yeah, I'm definitely gonna be ready. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna be doing the work that God has called me to do, and that's to help as many people as I can, whether it's people who is living with HIV, um, even women who's really trying to um, figure out how they can truly love themselves. Because, like I said, it took me a long time to figure that out. It took me a very long time. Thank you so much. It took me a very long time to figure that out, and I thank God that He has chose me to do this. Like I said, I don't take it lightly at all, and with everything that I had to deal with in my life, I never thought that I would be the person, like I said, to be outspoken about, my life, and to expose my life. But God, He told me this is what He want me to do. So I'm doing it. And so far, so good. Like, everything that I'm doing. Hi, Miss Dolores. I am doing good. I am doing so much better. I was sick. I had a virus this past week. So that's why I didn't come on yesterday. I was still recovering. I was at the ER on all day Thursday. I was showing them I still got this bruise on my arm from them trying to do the IV, but it is healing because it was a lot darker than this. But it's definitely healing. But I am feeling so much better. Thank you. How are you doing? And how was your holiday? I was just, telling people, um, oh, I was talking about, and I know you'll probably go back and see the live, but I was just talking about this book, The Beta Satan, that I've been reading. And I'm on chapter 2, and just talking about how we can choose how we will react towards certain things, how Satan will try to bait us into certain traps, and it would definitely take us off course. But this, man, when I tell you this book, I can't wait to finish reading it. I'm going to read some more of it before I go to bed. But oh, you went school shopping? Okay. Okay, that's good. Did y'all started back to school today, right? Because I know, everybody where I'm at here, they started back to school today. So everybody back in school now. Some of them went back the 25th of August, but everybody started back today. So the roads was, kind of crazy coming back home today. Oh, with your granddaughter? Okay. Well, that's good. Always love shopping. I love shopping. I haven't been shopping in a while, but I definitely love shopping. Definitely. Yeah, but I said, oh, so I know I'm not sure if you'll go back and watch my live. So, Miss Dolores, so I was telling, everybody at the beginning how, how I was talking about, oh, okay. That's good. So she got her some new school clothes. That's good. What grade is she going to? Or what grade did she go to? But yeah, I was talking about how, how my job was giving me a hard time with, eighth grade. One of my coworkers' daughter just went to eighth grade. That's a big year because this is their last year, and in middle school they'll be going to high school next year. Okay. So this is a big grade for them. So I pray that she has an amazing, amazing school year. So I was blessed, Miss Dolores, to start working from home on next week. Now, you know how I was talking about that and how my job was giving me a hard time and was saying because of my attendance, because I was sick and in and out of the hospital, how they were trying to have me, they were trying to wait until November until the my points fall off, but yeah, she told me today in a meeting that I will get my equipment on next Friday, and then I'll start working from home on that following Monday. So I said, "It's nobody but God." I have been praying, and then when I was walking out today, my supervisor told me. She said, "I see that you've been working on your resume, polishing up your resume." She said, "I'm glad that we were able to get you to work from home before you left because we need you. We don't want to see you go. You're a big asset to our team." And I said, "Well, I told y'all in my last meeting that, if I can't work from home, you already know my situation, that I was going to have to find me a work from home job." She said, "Well, I'm glad we got you in time." So I was definitely, I was so grateful for that. So grateful for that. Yes, yep, working at home for good. Yes. Yep. As long as I stay with this company. But yeah, I'm looking to start my own business. I want to start my own coaching business, helping women who's living with HIV, and helping women, just developing how to find themselves again, self-love and things like that. So that's what I'm working on and looking to do. And it's definitely gonna happen slowly but surely. Everything is everything is in God's timing. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do right now, and I'm not rushing anything because I want to make sure um, that I'm instructed by God and doing everything that He want me to do in that order. So I'm just, you know, listening to him. Yes, definitely. It's so many, you know, it's so many women who is living with, the virus, and newly diagnosed, even women who has lived with it for so long and truly don't love themselves, because I was there. Like I said, I've had it for 25 years. I was there, and it took me a long time to truly love myself, to love myself from the inside out. Um, and it was nobody but the grace of God that has me at this point where I'm able to talk about it, where I have navigated through life and through his word and helping me and strengthening me and sustaining me. So now that God has poured it into me, I want to be able to be a blessing to other women who's living with it, and be able to help them, because it is not easy. Some people don't have a village. Like I said, I remember when I was going to support group, when I was newly diagnosed with HIV, I was going to support group, and it was a man, who, he was married, he had kids, and he ended up going to get a tattoo, and the where he went to get the tattoo, the needle was dirty, and he ended up contracting HIV through getting a tattoo. His wife left him, divorced him. He could never see his kids anymore. His whole family left him. He didn't have anybody. He ended up moving into a halfway house because he had nobody. It's not like a halfway house, but it was a um, house for men who lives with the virus, and so um, and who were homeless. So he ended up, you know, living there. I have not seen him in many years because I had moved out of the city. But, you know, some people don't have anybody. Some people is living with this virus by themselves. Some people don't have the support that they really need besides, their doctors or social worker, you know. Yep, they turned against him. Yeah. His whole entire family turned against him. He didn't have anybody. He didn't have anybody. And I thank God for the village that I have. I thank God for my church family, um, my kids. Like, they have always been supportive from the moment that I was diagnosed. That is a shame, from the moment that I was diagnosed. And I have to give all glory to God, because He is the one that has been keeping me. And you guys know my story. You know that, for the ones who have been following me for a while, you know that I've almost died from it. And not from just that, but I had COVID, COPD, asthma, um, HIV, and double pneumonia. And so nobody but the grace of God that has kept me. And He kept me because He knew that I will be doing this. I never knew that I would be doing this. I never knew that I would step out of my comfort zone, me being this shy, woman. Oh, you said you look at my videos all the time. Yes, and now that I am going to be working from home, I'm definitely going to be able to do more videos. I'll be able to have more time at home and concentrate, because like I said, a lot of times, when I get to work, I really don't be having enough time. I could probably do it right after work, which I have to write out, you know, what type of videos I want to do, and what I know that my community want to see, because it's all about um my community, and what will be interesting to you guys. And so, yeah, so it is definitely, yes, it is. Thank God for good blessings. Cleopatra, how are you? Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. No, I do not. You did. Let me see. You said you sent me a message last week. I thought, did I respond to it? I'm about to. I know this is not happening again. It can't be happening again. Because at first, let me see. You said you sent me a message last week. I don't see any messages from last week. Let me see. I don't know. It's like 1 minute I get your messages, and then next minute I don't. I don't know. I I literally don't know. Let me see. Um. Oh, wait a minute. Reply to you. How are you feeling? Hope you are feeling better. I pray that God. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't get any other messages, Cleopatra. Um, I didn't get any other messages besides the last one that I received, and I had responded to it. But yes, I am so, so happy. Oh, wait a minute. That was 4 days ago. How are you feeling? Hope you're feeling better. I pray that God gives you strength for your journey. He will open. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I did. How did I miss this? Yes, I did. I will respond to it. I'll respond to it, Cleopatra. Yes, I'm going to respond to it. Um, but yes. Oh, she go to school this Thursday. Oh, see, okay, yeah. So different states start at different times. Okay, I thought everybody went back right after Labor Day. Okay, but yes, I am so so grateful. Like God is definitely in the business of. He's in a business of blessings. I'm telling you, just stay faithful and stay prayed up. He's definitely in the business of blessings. But yeah, so that is what God has called me to do. So and and it's been good. Of course, you get some. She lives okay in Brooklyn. Okay, I know someone that moved from Brooklyn to Michigan. She's a psychologist now at my church. Um, yeah, but I never thought that I would be doing this, but I I know God do not give assignments um to the weak. He definitely give them to the strong. I never thought and you hear those sayings all the time. You hear those sayings all the time. And I never understood it until I got in this position when I started telling my testimony. And then, like I said, the first time I tried to do it, and it was so many negative comments that I could not handle it. And then God told me again to do it again. And, you know, for so long, I kept fighting them and I could not sleep. And anytime God tell you to do something, guess what? He's going to make you uncomfortable. He's definitely going to make you uncomfortable until you listen to him. And that's what happened to me. He made me uncomfortable until I started listening to him. And now, I'm able to sleep. Because I've been doing his will. I've been, you know, really being dedicated and making sure that I'm doing everything that he's telling me to do. So, um, of course, you do get some negative comments when you hear people, when people hear about, you know, my story or whatever. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, I was just talking about how God is moving like in my life, and I was not expecting to get the message of me to work from home today. That was I was not even expecting it because they told me it wasn't going to be until November. And so, I put it in the back of my head. I'm like, okay, it's not going to be until November. I'm just going to do what I need to do, find me a new job and work from home. But I just kept hearing patience, but I didn't know what God was talking about. And I spoke about that too, when I brought the word a couple of Fridays ago on a prayer line that that I'm connected with. So I'm on a prayer line every Monday through Friday at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we log into the prayer line on our phone, and you can just listen, you can pray, you can ask people to pray for you. And so there was an opening of someone bringing a word, and at first I wasn't going to do it, but God told me, he was like, I gave you this word. So I did it, and it was about patience and and being obedient, and stop being disobedient with him. And and that's what we have to do. We have to stop being disobedient. When God tell us to do something, we have to do it, even if it feels uncomfortable. Like I told you guys, I was very uncomfortable, exposing my story because I was so quiet and I was so shy and just really laid back. And ever since then, it's like, okay, God, what do you have for me next? What do you want me to do? Anything you want me to do, I'm gonna do it, because that's just the way that we're supposed to be. Um, we was put on this earth to be a blessing to others, to help others. And that's the only way that we were able to get back to Him, because we know that we were all born into sin. And so, in order for us to get back to Him, His Son Jesus had to die on the cross for our sins. And we have to go through His Son Jesus to get to Him. So, um, that's just the way that it had to happen. And during this process, this journey that, you know, called life, that we all have to live in. Unfortunately, I contracted HIV, and never thought in a million years that it would happen to me, because, I was the one that went to church, the one that thought I was very careful, um, and gave my heart to someone that I truly trusted. I truly, you know, it it just seemed like a fairy tale. That's how the relationship was when we got together. It was like a fairy tale. And so I'm like, God, this is just too good to be true. It was too good to be true. And one thing I'm going to say is, I do not regret. I know some people might think like, wait a minute, she what? I do not regret contracting this virus. I don't regret it. I wish that I would have done things differently to where I would have protected myself. But like I said, when you put your trust in someone, went to high school with him, put your trust in someone. His family know my family. It just seemed like everything was just put together perfectly, right? And and so you just have to be careful who you put your trust into, right? Yes, of course, of course, of course. 1000%. 1000% I forgive him. It took me a long time to forgive him though. Even though even though I ended up marrying him and think it still took me a long time to forgive him. We were living in the same household. I had so much animosity, and I was never the type of person to it takes a lot for somebody to get under my skin, or to or for me to, have any hurtful thoughts against, right? Yes, definitely. Thank you. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. And so every day we was in the same home, and when I tell you, excuse me, hate is a harsh word. They always say never to use hate, but I hated that man. I hated him. I hated the ground he walked on. I hated everything about him. Every time he talked, anything that he did, it I immediately became angry and became somebody that I knew that I wasn't. So I had literally had to pray and ask God to change my ways. I had to ask him to change my ways. Um, and so yeah, it was really bad. It was really, really bad. But look at me now. Look at me now. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for every obstacle that I've been through. But living with HIV definitely made me a better woman, made me definitely just see life differently. It definitely made me see life differently. It changed me for the better, which I was not a bad person in the first place, but it definitely changed my outcome on life. So I regret having it? No, I don't. I don't regret it at all. Do I like some of the things that come along with it? No, I don't. But I don't regret it one bit, because like I said, it made me a better woman. It made me a better person. Um, and it's allowing me to tell my story so that I can help many, many people. Because believe it or not, listen, you guys, and I'm telling you, not from you just hearing it out of my mouth, but from what I see. HIV is on the rise. It is so many people still being contracting it. So many people still contracting it. Um, it's over. And I said I'm gonna do research for every state, and I'm gonna do a video on it. I want to do a research for it for every state. Yeah, I did. I really did, Mr. Dolores. I really went to a dark side. I did. A side that I never knew that was in me at all, ever. But I'm gonna do a research, because the last time, this was in 20, and I know the numbers have risen. I know in Michigan, where I live, it's over 11,000 people who has HIV, not even the ones who's walking around with it, who do not know that they have it, and they're still spreading it, because it can take up to 10 years for you to even for some people to even develop symptoms. In Texas, it's over 20,000 people who has HIV, and not even the ones that don't even know um, like I said, who's walking around with it, who do not even know they have it, because it can take up to 10 years for you to have side effects. It is on the rise again. Someone said, yeah, it is. It's on the rise. I'm telling you. That's why I'm, listen, if I can continue to tell my story and just bring awareness and help as many people as I can for you to open your eyes. It doesn't take, they have these home kits that you can get off Amazon. They sell them at the pharmacy, um, that you can just have in your home. So even before you become sexually active with someone, y'all take a test together. If, even though you know that you may be good, and you're just getting into a relationship with somebody, and you talk about, wanting to be safe and things like that, listen, make sure you have a kid at your home, and you guys test test each other. Y'all be in the, just between y'all two, y'all test each other. I'm telling you, it will make a world of difference for you to do this, because as even people, listen, people in their 60s and 70s contracting it. It's crazy. You would think it's crazy because, they're, up in age, but, age, HIV does not have an age limit. It really doesn't. Even kids in high school is contracting it. And people, some parents be like, oh, my kid is not sexually active. Well, how did your kid become a teen parent? If your kid is not sexually active and all of a sudden your kid, become a teen parent. So you have to have these talks with your, have these talks with your children. Even when they're, even I would say the earliest age is like 12 or 13. It's 12-year-olds who's getting pregnant, 13-year-olds getting pregnant. And I know some people don't want to have that talk with them because they feel that they're too young. But these kids nowadays, they are so intelligent. Don't listen. Do not think that they are not aware of what's going on in their surroundings. Oh, Kayla, everybody said hi. She said hi. She's fixing Bella some food. But yeah, I'm telling you, talk to your kids. And like Miss Dolores, your granddaughter is going to 8th grade. Talk to your her parents to see if you can have that talk with her, because I know some parents be like, you know what, you're pushing your limit. Because sometimes you don't want to go over the parents' heads, right? But oh, Miss Dolores said hi too, Kayla. She said hi. But it's good to start now, because it brings awareness to them. I'm telling you. You don't want to one day have to have your have a talk with your child or your grandchild, saying, I wish I would have talked to you about HIV, and now you have to go through walking with them having it. Like, like I said, I never thought that I would have it either, right? I literally never thought that it would happen to me. And here I am talking to other people about it and educating them about bringing awareness and how um, to try to stop, to we have to get these numbers down. We really do. We really do. It's so sad. It's so sad. And we have to realize we can't trust everybody. You can't trust everybody. Yes, definitely. You have to. And you have to talk to them about, the STIs, not just HIV, but chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, pelvic inflammatory disease, and also um, gonorrhea and chlamydia, like all the STIs, they um, they can prevent them from conceiving. So if you don't get it treated in time, it can definitely scar their fallopian tubes, to where it will prevent them from having children. And there are some people who will walk around for months not even knowing that they have an STI, because you know they they just don't know until something happens, until they have some type of discharge or some type of um, itching, irregular bleeding, um, what else, um, foul smell. Like, it could be so many different things that can happen before somebody actually knows that they have an STI. So it's good to talk to our children about that. It's good to even educate ourselves about it, because I started getting educated about a lot of it when I contracted HIV, because I never developed anything. So until except for like a yeast infection, like some of us, get every once in a while from, soaps or antibiotics, being on antibiotics. And but other than that, um, I never felt like I needed a reason to discuss it, because I didn't think that I was in no type of way or danger of me um, thinking I would contract anything. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, Bella. Uh-uh. Go finish eating your food, Bella. Okay, yeah, so, ooh, it's cold in here. I have the air on. Be careful who you go with. Yeah, absolutely. You do have to be careful who you go with. Absolutely, you definitely have to be careful with that. But, and that's why, my daughters, they found out I had it. My youngest was, I think she was 8 years old, and my oldest was 11, when I had to talk with them about me. And I had my social worker, one of my social workers from um, the HIV/AIDS resources um, program that I was in. I had her come over, and She brung like some pictures and things like that of, the virus, and we explained it to them to where they would understand. And so they began to ask questions, all the time. And but I wanted to tell them, I never wanted to hide it from them on what was going on with me. And I was always getting sick too, so I was in hospital a lot with double pneumonia. And like I said, I never thought that I would even make it to this day, to even see this day, because I was so sick. But God is so good. He's so faithful, and He's so great. So yeah, I told my daughters very young. And so, um, and to this day, like, I still talk to them, talk to my girls. I still talk to them about sex and HIV and STIs, and, being safe and things like that, because it's very important. I want that generational curse to end with me. I am the first person in my family that I know of. I'm not sure if other people has hit it, but in my immediate family, from my aunts, my mother, my cousins, things like that, for me to have HIV. So my family, all of my family knows, even my extended family. Um, a lot of them did not know until I literally put my story out. Because it's some cousins that, my distance cousins that I do speak with, but I talk to, but we're not close. So they literally just found out, not too long ago. But for my close family, I'm the first one to have had it, in my family. So, and so that's all I want to do, is just, educate people, and educate, women who's going through with it, and who don't have the support. Or it was a young lady on my TikTok who sent me a message last week. She said she's been she's had HIV for, I think she said, 6 years. And she said, I'm still not okay. She said, how, where do you get that's what she said, where do you get the strength? And I said, it's nobody but God, and um, me learning how to love myself. Because like I said, I hated myself for a long time, for many years, for many, many, many years. But one day I told myself, I said, Tamisha, either you're going to hate yourself until the day you die, or you're going to love yourself and learn how to live with this, and not allow it to, um, and not allow it to, you're going to live with this and not allow it to live for you. So I had to take my power back, because it was literally taking over me instead of me living my life. Yeah, definitely. It was very hard to deal with. Now, do you ever get over it? No, you never get over it. But I don't regret, like I said, I don't regret having it. It's made me a better woman. It gave me a better outcome on life and how I see life. Now, I don't know what I would be doing if I didn't have it. I can't even go back and think like that, because, I have it. So I never go back and say, well, if I didn't have it, then what would I be doing? Or I remember, I can't think like that now, but I remember, um, years ago, before I even got to this point, many years ago, I would always say, if I didn't have this, then I would be able to have any relationship that I want. And, this is preventing me. And I'm like, Tamisha, why are you putting yourself in a box? Why are you putting yourself in a bubble? Um, you will be loved regardless. God definitely has someone for everybody. And so I had to start changing the way that I think, change the way that I see myself, and not allowing the enemy to play in my head and play in my ear, you know. I first met him in high school. We went to high school together. So I first met him in high school, yeah. Yep, and then we reconnected like years later. Um, but yeah, so like life is it's definitely been amazing lately. I'm telling you, it's definitely been it's been amazing, and I just love every part of me, every single part of me. There's not one part of me that I dislike. Besides, well, no, not even besides. No, mm-mm. Nope, we knew of each other in high school. You know, we had some classes together. We would say hi and bye. We never, ever dated in high school. Nope, we never dated in high school. Nope, not at all. But I would always tell myself if I wasn't following the crowd, um, and I'm gonna say like some of my friends that I grew up with was always worried about me having a boyfriend. Tamisha, you need to have a boyfriend. I was not, listen, I was in high school and I still was not worried about having a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend when I was in 10th grade, and that was the love of my life. And I knew that I wanted to marry him and that we were going to have kids. I was never sexually active with him at all. Um, I wanted to wait until I was married, but he didn't want to wait because, you know, guys and hormones, peer pressure, all of that. And he ended up, you know, cheating on me. And so I broke that relationship off. And because that was your first love, that was very hurtful. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And so, yeah, so I, yeah, that was my first love. And but you know your friends, you need to have a boyfriend. um you will be going to prom soon and you don't have a boyfriend. But I'm like, I'm not looking for a boyfriend just because y'all out, you know, being sexually active and being teen moms. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want that for me. um I was looking, my dream was to go to high school, I mean, go to school, graduate high school. I wanted to go to Grambling State University. Um, but then that didn't happen. I had, how many, now I know, you know, a lot of us been out of high school for a long time. I know for me, because I was very spoiled, but how many people have ever experienced um, having homesickness? So I wanted to go to Grambling State, which um, was in HBCU. And so I wanted to go to Grambling, well, not HBCU, but Grambling State University. And so I wanted to go there because I remember somebody from high school from Grambling State was talking about the college and, you know, everything. So I was like, that's the school that I want to go to. But then when it came to senior year, I'm like, I was afraid to go because I didn't want to leave my grandmother. My grandmother raised me, so I was afraid to leave her. Then I got into this relationship with my oldest daughter father, and um, so I was like, you know what? Since I'm not gonna go away to school, um, I'm gonna go to the military. So me and my sister on my father's side, I'm the oldest. Me and her are 6 weeks apart. So we decided to do the buddy system. Y'all remember the buddy system back in back when they were doing that in college? Let me see. Tamisha, do you think that book will open up a can of worms? You know what? It may. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you why it may. Smokey Robinson and Diana Ross. Yep, they are. Yep, they're from Detroit. My mom, my mom and one of my aunts went to school with Diana Ross. Yep. Um, it may, and I'm gonna tell you this, Cleopatra, only because so me and my husband had a conversation. I think it was last week, and he was saying, um, I don't know why you always talking about Motown. Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know why you're always talking about HIV and your status. What if somebody from my job watches your live and they know that you're connected with me? Well, first of all, I'm not going to stop doing what God has told me to do, and it's to help people and to bring awareness. And like I told him, I said, this is my story. So he do understand that this is my story and that I'm helping people. He just don't want me to continue talking about it. But yes, he is concerned. He is concerned. So, um, and and the thing is, I don't know. I never even, like, I have been up to his job, but not really got out the car or anything. Like, sometime if I would have his car, I would drop him off or pick him up, um, or I would take my daughter to get food. I never really went inside of his job. So, but um, I just have to, it's not about him. It's not about me. It's about helping people. That's all it's about. And like you said, Miss Dolores, I'm telling my truth. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing is telling my truth and helping people along the way. And I'm gonna continue to do it. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna continue to do it. I have not, like I told him, I have not exposed his name. I have not um, exposed his picture or anything because I want to keep that stuff private for him. And I just don't feel right as a person doing that, regardless of, how I contracted, how things went down. I can never see myself doing that. And I will. I just can't see myself doing that. And like, and for anybody else who was connected to him and, their story is their story. I'm not going to expose their name, not going to expose anything about them because, like I said, their story is their story. I'm I'm going to tell mine. I'm going to tell my story. So, yeah, that's where I'm at um, in this process. Um, so I did meet his manager. I met his manager before, yes. I met his manager before. Um, so the crazy thing is, okay, so the crazy thing is where he works, um, they don't do background checks, right? I forget how the story went because it's been almost 5 years since he's been at his job. But he wanna be your yes, yep, he's definitely gonna be in my book. I just, didn't expose his name or anything like that. But he's definitely gonna be in my book. I'm just not gonna expose his name. And so when he got hired, his manager, his new manager at because he switched locations, his new manager saw him, and he said, I'm trying to think of how the story went because, like I said, it's been so long. He is a year older than me. Yep, he's a year older than me. So I don't know how, I forgot how the story went, but he said his manager saw him and said, "You know what, man? I saw your story, but you good with me. Um, I'm not gonna say anything." So I believe well, not I believe, I know his manager knows, you know, what happened regarding him. Um, but like I said, I'm going to continue to tell my story. I'm not going to allow that to keep me quiet because, like I said, I'm helping other people. And that's what, like I said, this is what God wants me to do. I'm going to continue to do it. And I've been helping people. Um, and I feel good about doing it um, because my story is not for me to keep. And those are the exact words from God. He said, "Your your story is not for you to keep." Yeah, it was crazy when you can definitely hear God voice and Him talking to you. And so I've been doing it, and I'm gonna continue to do it. I say until the day He called me home. That's just what I'm gonna do. That is just what I am going to do. Let me see, what was this? Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah, let me see. So we both had a daughter before we got together. So our daughters are a year apart, and then we have our youngest daughter together. So it's three girls all together. Yep, three girls. So my daughter will be 29, and my oldest daughter will be 29 in March. His daughter will be 28 in March, and our youngest, she will be 25 in November. Yep. You had. Yeah, I just had one daughter when we was before we got together. I just had one daughter. Yeah, it's just his job. My daughter, she is absolutely cool with it. Y'all see, she be on my live. She pop in sometime, and she is absolutely cool with it. Even my oldest daughter, who I saw today at work today, I was so happy to see her face. I miss my baby so much. She just, you know, be working and um yeah. I'll bring whenever we finally get linked up. I mean, I see her often, but when we get together, I'm gonna get on a live so you guys can see her too. But um, yeah, both of my daughters are absolutely cool with it. Before I even started this journey, I asked my daughters if they would be okay for me to tell my story because um, I didn't want them to feel um, no type of way with me telling my story and people know that I'm their mom, you know. But they are absolutely fine with me telling my story. They're happy that I'm telling my story and that I'm helping people and and yeah, they're absolutely happy. Yeah, yep, all of them. Yep, yep, yep. But yeah, my girls, they are they're definitely okay with it. Definitely okay with it. You know, when I first told him I was going to be doing it too, he was okay with it. But now, you know, that I'm always talking about it, you know, it's a problem. But, um, like I said, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna continue to spread this word. Listen, we have to get this awareness out. We have to get these numbers down. You know, people don't think it's real until it happens to them. Some people think that it may, you know, oh, it's never gonna happen to me. But HIV is not written on nobody's forehead. You can't tell by the way anybody look, the way anybody smell, the way anybody walk, the way they dressed, the way they dress. You can't tell by that at all. There's no look. You can have the richest person, the cleanest person from head to toe who can be carrying the virus and it look like they don't even have it. And then you can have someone that's homeless that's been living on the street, scuffled, you know, and haven't bathed in a while and they don't have it. So there is no look at all. They do, you know, and it's okay, you know, for people to hide it, but not when you're going to be in a relationship with somebody or you're planning on sleeping with somebody. And I know today they say um undetectable equals untransmittable, you equal you. This is the thing that's out, you know, you equal you means undetectable equals untransmittable. but it's still that slim chance. I don't think, no, it's still that slim chance. So I don't know. I don't trust, nothing is 100%. Nothing is 100%. Even condoms break. Nothing is 100%. So, they say, if you're undetectable, you don't have to tell anybody. That's not true. I can't see myself doing that. I can't see myself being in a relationship and, okay, I know that I'm undetectable and I'm afraid to tell somebody that I want to be in a relationship with. No, that's not okay. It'll never be okay for me. He said, yeah, but it will never, ever, ever be okay for me. Nope, not at all. I have to tell the truth at all times, regardless if somebody want to deal with me or not. At all times. Give me 1 second. Let me get this. Oops. Let me get this food out the oven. 1 second. Finally. Finally, Bella. Dang, I should have put some fries on. What, my sugar? Here I come. 1 second. I had to get food out the oven. Let me see. No, he's definitely not. Nope. As of right now, no. He's not comfortable with. He he's not comfortable with it. And some people, some people not. I think so. I've had it 25 years. I think he's had it I think like 27 years, I believe. 26, 27 years, something like that. I know he had it before we got together. So yeah. Nope. Not at all. Yeah. Well, it is almost 9 o'clock. I'm about to get off of here and get ready so I can get ready to get ready for bed and get up for work. I mean, yeah, work tomorrow because y'all know um, I go to work tomorrow, but no, he's definitely not. Nope, not, not, no. Mm-mm. And the only reason why I say that because I still don't think that he has told the truth about everything, so I don't think so. And like I said, yeah, but I can only go by, you know, what he said. I hope he appreciates what he could. You know, I pray that he do. You're welcome. I pray that he do. Um, yeah, I pray that he do. So we shall see. We definitely shall see. We definitely shall see. Um, yeah, we definitely shall see. But I am going to be off Thursday and Friday because I did have this whole week off because I was supposed to go to DC. But because I was off Thursday and Friday last week because, you know, I was sick, um, I have to make those days up to today and tomorrow. So I'm going to be off Thursday and Friday this week. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I am so happy. At first, I was going to give my time back and be like, you know what? I'm going to save my time. But you know what? No. I'm taking this time to myself. So I'm going to be off Thursday, Friday. I'm going to have another long weekend. Um, that, you know, I get paid for it. So I'm going to take that time. Definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to be making videos the time that I am off. Definitely. So you guys have more videos coming. But about to get off and get ready for work. You guys know I get up at 5 a.m. to get on a prayer line every morning. I don't care. Even when I'm off next week, Thursday and Friday, I am going to be up at 5 a.m. on that prayer line because prayer, as we know, prayer changes things. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And like I said, I don't take things, you know, for granted. I don't take it lightly. But before I get off, I always ask you guys, I ask you all the time, how was your day today? And did you guys do anything today? Mr. Dolores, I know you went shopping for your granddaughter. I'm working, I would start working from home on the, I believe it's the 15th of this month because I get my equipment next Friday. So yeah, I'm excited. Did everybody have a good day today? I always like to end my night and with asking how everybody day was. But I will be um, heading off so I can get ready to go to bed and everybody have a good night and I will so starting so you know normally Monday, Wednesday and Saturdays is when I do my lives. But starting this Wednesday, starting tomorrow, our church will be starting our Bible study back up. So I will not be on Wednesdays anymore. I will come on probably Thursday or Friday. But yeah, our Bible study starts back up tomorrow at 7 p.m. So I'll be doing Bible study. That's good. I'm glad your day went well. I'm glad your day went well. And each and every day we have to, you know, deny our flesh and ask God that we live for Him, and to remove anything out of our lives, our mind, our spirits, and our hearts that does not serve us any purpose, so that we can do His will. That's my prayer every single day, and I pray that you guys say the same prayers, so that we know that He knows that we're living for Him. So, everybody, have a good night, and I will see you guys on either Thursday or Friday. Have a good night, y'all.